Hello from Chinature.com. This is Mark Josie. Today I'll be doing a video showing you how to sharpen a pocket knife. And here we have the Cold Steel AK47. Okay, it's a very nice knife. The thing I like about this AK47 is the the lock is easier to open and close than the Recon one. Okay, and also the grip. The grip is pretty nice here. Okay, it's not very bulky, whereas the Recon one have a little more curve here. So this one is less bulky, and it feels pretty good. And this is the smaller version, but it's still very cute. And so we're gonna sharpen this today with a Whetstone kit. And might as well we get a butter knife here that needs some sharpening job as well, and you'll be like, hey, it's a butter knife, it doesn't need to be sharp. Well, yeah, apparently it does sometimes. Okay, so we'll do that again. There's a little bit of a rust or something going on, so might as well polish that as well. Okay, so this kit, a lot of people were asking me, where did I get this kit? I get this kit from Wild Bill's Wholesales. They don't carry it anymore, but I'm sure you can find this brand if you actually search online. Okay, so I'm not sure if they still sell it. It's not the best kit ever, but it looks pretty cool. 10 Ryu, something like that. Okay, so it opens up, a box like that opens up. You have two Whetstone in cases like this. Whoa. The inside is kind of crappy. Here you see this is wobbly. It's not very nicely done. The nails are off, and you know, nothing is perfect inside, but it looks pretty cool if you just look at it. Okay, you get a little bucket like that is for water, and then this bottle of oil was all spilled out during the shipment, so there's no more oil inside. And then I got some of my fine grit sandpaper. Okay, these are the fine grit sandpaper I'll be using at last. And of course a little sponge and spoon for your water. Okay, so to make it simple, I will use this in a way that it's most convenient for any home user with a sink. Okay, so I'll do it right here at the sink. As you see, there's a slope here. Okay, it's slanted. I will have that slant toward me. Okay, like that. So now I can actually put water down here. Okay, very easy, you see. Okay, so for the two Whetstone, there's a white one that is a fine grit, and then there's a big one with dual grits. Okay, one side is rougher, so we'll use the rough side first. And of course this is one bottle of those whatever honing oil. We don't need that. Okay, so feel with the hand which one is rougher. Okay, the darker one is rougher, so usually you tell by the color. Okay, dark, medium, light, very simple. Okay, let's wet it with water. Okay, so basically that's how it goes. Now the stone is very much locked in place into this groove. We do need water for Whetstone, no oil. Okay, so we're not using oil. I'll keep a very constant stream of water. Now the angle is pretty preset right here already. You see, it's kind of slanted, so as you push up the blade from an angle, it is going to do the job already. Okay, so we'll put the blade here on an angle about 25 degrees. Okay, and push up like so. Okay, we'll keep doing this motion a few times just to start it off, and then when we're done here, we now need to do the curve right here. Okay, the curve. So to do the curve, you go like that, slide. Okay, slide away from the stone, and it will touch. Okay, slowly you can see it touch from here, and now the tip. See, most of the time people keep sharpening on an angle that is too steep like that. Okay, you need to put it up a little bit, or else it's not going to touch the edge. So after a lot of work, you'll find that you didn't even sharpen anything at all. Okay, So a few times straight, and then I will do curve like so. Count 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we'll do 15 times. Now repeat the other side like so with 15 times. Okay, we'll open this a few times first and then do the curve. 1, watch your hand, be careful. 3, 4, 5. You can actually feel that the tip is touching the stone and sharpening there, okay? Because your two fingers here are pushing, also pushing down a little bit, so you can actually feel the blade where is actually touching the stone and being sharpened. Okay. Okay, so it's pretty much, that's how it goes for one side, and then we'll do the other side. Okay. Now this is a medium grit. Okay, repeat the same step, but skip this first process. Just go do the curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did 20 times. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you see, it's pretty much straightforward. The same thing done over. Okay, this is the wrong concept people get. You're supposed to go like that and then feel the teeth of the edge to see if it is rough, like scratchy or not, to determine if the knife is sharp. That is wrong. A real sharp knife, the edge will not feel very rough and scratchy when you go like that, because the teeth of the knife is very fine, and so it feels very smooth actually, but it will be very sharp, don't worry. If you take a very rough stone to do this motion, your knife will feel very, very rough and scratchy when you do that to the knife's edge. But then the knife is not very sharp. It is rough. And with the rough edge, it means that your edge will be damaged or dull very fast in a few use. So that's not good. Okay, so this is our final. And if you use a finer stone to finish this last step, the benefit of using a finer stone is that when you do this, okay, it doesn't feel very sharp. It doesn't feel very scratchy. But the finer it is, the more durable your edge is going to be. So at the end, we'll use one of these 2000 grit sandpaper to do a final touch up. Okay, so I wrap this around my finest stone. Okay. Make sure it's flat and wet. Now I'll do this a few times just to give it a final touch. Okay, you don't need to do that. You can just use the finest stone, but I like using this one myself. Okay, now the thing is done. Okay, now this is done. We'll do a little bit of touch up here using the finest stone only. Okay, this one, butter knife, the angle is a little bit higher. Okay. Now obviously this is much rougher when I do it. Okay, it's much better right now already. Okay, what I did was I polished the profile, the edge, and also remove a little bit of rust there. You don't really have to really sharpen the knife, but you know, it doesn't need to be a super razor sharp butter cutter, but at least, you know, give it an edge so that it won't be very dull when you use it. Okay, so we're done. Okay, very good. So now that the cutting is done, we'll take a piece of paper and test. Okay guys, so let's dry up the blade. Okay. Careful, watch your hand. It's sharp. Okay. Now, how do you tell if the knife is very sharp? You do a slice or cut, and then you feel the edge, the cut here with your finger. If it's very smooth, it is sharp. Okay. See, I can push down and cut with this one. See, this is a push cut. So if you can push cut, it's sharp enough. Okay. Now slice, just a slice like that. Slowly, no effort. If it cuts open, it's very sharp. Okay. Now we'll try to do a finer slice. Okay. Finer slice. And if it can cut very fine slices, it is sharp. Okay. So yeah, every knife can cut paper, but you know, the dull knife you cannot cut that easily, and you cannot cut fine, very fine stripes. Okay, so you try to see if it can cut the fine lines, and also feel here. If it's smooth here, it is sharp enough. Okay, good. Now the knife is very sharp. What about the butter knife? I'm curious. Can the butter knife cut? Okay, butter knife. Butter knife also cuts. Okay, so yeah, the butter knife is not as sharp, but it can cut to a certain degree. Okay, it does cut open the paper, but if you feel the edge right here, okay, you can feel a little bit of like it's not that smooth and sharp cut. So you can tell if the knife is sharper or is more to the dull side. Okay, the dull knife like this butter knife, they can cut open the paper, but when you feel the edge that is cut open with your finger right here like this, it you feel that it's a little bit not very sharply cut right here. So compared to the AK47, this one is very, very smooth, sharp, and you can feel that is the sharp edge. So anyway, today we learned a few things: how to test the edge of the blade and tell if it's sharp or not. A dull knife or sharp knife can also cut paper, but the effect on the paper is different. Okay, and also how you can go through these procedures to easily sharpen your knife. Now, one final tips to all the people who are new to sharpening knife is that if you keep, like, if your knife is dull right now and you keep sharpening, and after a while you try to test the knife and then you see, hey, how come nothing is done? It's still dull. The problem is not that you have to do more strokes. The problem is that your angle may be a little bit too steep like that. Okay, so you need to kind of raise it up a little bit so that it's actually doing something to the edge. If it's kind of too low right here, you may be just sharpening the very, very surface right here and not the edge at all. So after like 30 minutes of working on there, your knife is still dull. It's because you haven't touched the edge yet. Usually, if you did like 50 strokes, it's supposed to sharpen the knife already. So make sure you know that and check if your angle is right. Sometimes your angle is off, and that's why the knife is not sharp. Okay, thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and like. Bye-bye!